In this tutorial, I will take you through the necessary steps on how to create a fender in Autodesk Alias Automotive 2012. For my design, I've decided that my rear fender will be in the shape of flames. To get this shape, I first went onto the internet, found an image of flames that I was satisfied with. Then once I had saved it, I went to File, Import, Canvas Image, and selected my file. Once my file was on the screen, I then took a series of CV curves and traced the outline of the image until I was satisfied. The next step is to take your existing wheel that you've created in another program or in Alias and bring it in. Once your rim is in Alias, you then take a cylinder and create the side profile of your fender. When the cylinder comes in, it's too small, and to adjust the size of it, you go to the scale tool. To create the outer portion of the fender, you will do the same thing again with a cylinder. Now that you have your two cylinders, you can either delete, or if you have your rim on a layer, turn that off. Next step is to go to the top view, which you can either access by going to Layouts, Top View, or on your keyboard, press F5. This shows this. The next step is to adjust the width of the cylinders. This just makes it easier to create the overall shape of the fender. To do this, you will use the non-proportional scale tool and the third mouse button. Once you're satisfied with the size of one, you can do that to the other as well. Once you're happy with what you have, the next step is to go back to a side view. Again, you can do this through Layouts or press the F6 key. This will show you this view. Now what you want to do is create a box, and to do this you left click on the cylinder and drag over to cube. What you're going to do with this is scale it to actually subtract the remaining parts of the cylinder that you do not need for your fender. Now that you have something like this, the next step is to actually subtract the two cylinder portions inside the box to actually separate the two parts. This will give you half or whatever portion you want. To do this, you simply select the box and go down to where it says Surface Edit. Left click on the project and hold and drag over to the intersecting tool. The box will be in a pinkish purple, which means that is one object that you want to use for subtracting. Then you can simply click the other pieces Now that it's intersected, when you go to the trim tool, you simply click the one part of the cylinder you would like to keep, and you can press the keep button on the bottom right. This will remove the rest of the cylinder except for what you've selected. You do this with the other part of the cylinder as well. What you're now left with is two portions of a cylinder. To join these two portions, you will simply go up or down to the surface tool and select skin. Next, what you will do is select the one arc and then the inner arc. You can't see it right now because it's on wireframe, but the highlighted section is now a skin. You do that to the other side as well. And just to show you what it looks like, you can come over here to the area where it shows a bunch of different looks. These are your different shades that you can apply to the object. So if we just put another shade on, you see that it's now a fender. The next step will be taking your image or flames, for in my case, and extruding them and subtracting out what you don't need from that to actually give you the base of the flame for the fender. To do this, you will select your flames, go Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. Now that you have two copies, you go to the Move tool, and with the third mouse button, drag it up in the Z-axis. Once that is done, you then go back to the Skin tool and create a skin from one flame to the other. Now what you have is two objects crossing through each other. In the next portion of the tutorial, I will take you through how to take this and create your final fender. Now that we have your image extruded through the actual fender, the next step is to intersect and remove what you don't want to leave what your fender shape will be. First step to doing this is go to Pick Object, and you're going to pick the inner part and the outer part of your fender. Then again, you're going to go back down to Intersect, and when that turns purple, you're going to select the two skins of your flames. And as you can see, it creates a ghost image on the fender of what it's actually intersected. Now that that's done, you can then go to Trim, and through a series of trimming, what you don't want there and what you do want, you create your fender. When you're done trimming what you don't want and satisfied with what you have left, you will get something like this. This is your fender. To look at it in a different perspective, again I will turn a shader on. Work without the wireframe on. To turn that off, you can either press F12 or you can go to Show and check on Model. When the check is on, or the check mark, it means that your wireframe is on. When it's off, this has been the tutorial on how to create a fender in Autodesk Alias.